Hey there guys, Dylan here from TheByesRegret, and for once this video is not coming out a month preceding the one prior. I'm taking a little bit of initiative in bulk recording because towards the back end of this week I'm going to be getting my office area set up so that I have a designated spot to record, so that I'm no longer sitting on my bedroom floor of my townhouse filming these videos. So yeah, this is a deck, obviously, it's zombies. This is my take on, like, zombie, warrior, kind of mid-range. More so the game plan is use Pyramid Turtle as a sort of wall until we can get out to a Vampire Lord, the Warrior Engine being supplementary to kind of take care of, you know, flip control. Exile Force being able to just pop cards off is very nice as well. The zombie deck and the zombie engine in general is a deck that I've always enjoyed, a deck that I've always talked about building and playing, but it's always been kind of like a crapshoot of whether or not I want to take it in the route of, you know, zombie recruiter, which is like playing 8 recruiters, zombie control, skill drains, and a heavy trap lineup. But this is a list that I've found myself being comfortable with as well. So this is the list that I've kind of decided to show you all until I make further changes down the line. So starting off, obviously, 3 Pyramid Turtle. In terms of power, I like to think that Pyramid Turtle's probably the strongest recruiter in GOAT format. I'd like to do a video in the near future with a couple of friends talking about the different recruiters, kind of like a recruiter tier list for GOAT format. I think that may be a really cool really cool video idea. So starting off, 3 Pyramid Turtle and the supplementary pieces to it, 2 Vampire Lord and a Ryukoki. Ryukoki being the card that people kind of go back and forth on now with this engine. I see a lot of people side decking this card because there's more versatility in the format, with Panda now being a mainstay contender. 1 Spirit Reaper and 2 Regenerating Mummy. This is it for the monsters. Here, let me fix my light so it's not peering down on that. This is it for the zombie lineup within the deck. 9 of them, 2 of them just kind of, like, in theory, you could summon these off of Pyramid Turtle and just get an 1800 stick. But what I like to do, they're more so here for duo proofing and being an 1800 beat stick if I open nothing else. Spirit Reaper just being the wall of the century. And Vampire Lord just being generically strong, along with Ryukoki. Vampire Lord always reviving himself, and Ryukoki being good for the warrior matchups, the spellcaster matchups, stuff of that nature. Moving into the little warrior package that we're playing 2 Blade Knight, a Warrior Lady, and an Exiled. This engine is okay. I'm not too certain on how I feel about this engine, but I was a lot more comfortable playing this engine over the Drain engine, you know, main decking Fusiliers and stuff of that nature, and basically only playing 5 zombies in the deck, being Turtles and Vampire Lords. Blade Knight is here for, you know, obviously the flip control aspect of it, and the fact that sometimes we end up dumping our hands very fast, so he ends up being a 2K a good bit. And Warrior Lady and Exile just being here for generic removal. Then other random cards we're playing in this deck: Breaker, Sangan, Sinister, and a copy of BLS. Because BLS is arguably the strongest monster in GOAT format, quite frankly. And the rest of these cards are just generically good. Serpent being reusable material and duo proofing, and as well as a little bit of hand protection from Donzaloo, because I feel like Donzaloo is getting played a little bit more in this format now, as people are realizing that hand knowledge and basically hand advantage can sometimes, and most always, is definitely better than field advantage. Moving on into the spells, we have obviously the Trinity. As I say in every video, pay no mind to this duo. The Trinity being kind of like the standard mainstay, And then the other standard mainstays in the deck, Heavy, Prima, Snatch, and MST. These cards pretty much get played without saying. Just like in the creator deck profile, not really liking Heavy as of recently, but haven't found a suitable replacement for it as of recently. Other spell cards that we're playing 2 copies of the Book of Life. Book of Life, 1 being Graveyard Hate in a deck that we can't really main deck Kaiku in. Slotting Kaiku into this deck felt kind of hard because we're already playing the 2 supplementary engines, and trying to jam Kaiku into them could be kind of an issue. But this being able to revive back Pyramid Turtles to summon one of the other basically one of the 6 targets from your hand, your opponent, from your deck. And this card being a good going second card if they end up, if they duo you, if they dust you, or if they mind crush something out of your hand in game 2 and you open up this plus another thing, they just, they mind crush and take a they duo and they hit a Vampire Lord, or you intentionally discard a Vampire Lord, you can Book of Life something from their graveyard to summon back the Lord. 2 Book of Moon. It's really fun running 2 Book of Moon in this deck. This deck's really nice for, Book of Moon purposes. This card's also just another really good card to generically deal with things. And then 2 copies of Rhoda for the 4 warriors that we're playing. Again, the warrior engine as a whole could be coming out for basically another deck that I saw online that was I saw, which was zombie. It was like zombie Skull Servant, and it was playing like King of the Skull Servant, and Skull Servant's just being able to get 3K beater off of like tomatoes and stuff of that nature. It was a really cool deck. I'm definitely going to play around with it. But that does it for our spell lineup. Going into our traps, mainstay, shout out to Zaid Slater on YouTube. 3 Solemn Judgment. If you're not playing 3 Judgment in this format, you're wrong. As well as 2 Sakuratsu for the last of the multiples that we're playing in the trap lineup. Sakuratsu is nice for dealing with those cards that you can't really beat over with Vampire Lord or Ryokoki, and if you have no route to exile, they're kind of hard to bring around. If this deck gets face-to-face with a Jinzo, it doesn't do too much, but it does turn off a good portion of the back row in this deck. And then, let me just move these over here. And then moving into the 1-0s, we're obviously playing, the 3 power traps of the format, as well as 1 copy of Phoenix Wing Wind Blast and 1 copy of Deck Devastation Virus. So this was the card that I was talking about in this damn glare, man. Here, I'll just do that. Deck Devi is a really cool card, I'm not gonna lie. I was quite happy when I found this card in my box while building this deck. I was like, I'm definitely playing this card. I know that this should probably not be in the main deck. Usually this is a card that gets sided in this deck, but Deck Devi just seems so powerful currently, especially in my current meta. Being able to blow up things like pandas, cats, all the flip control pieces like Face, Apprentice and Magicians right out of the hand rather than on the field. And just having 3 turns of it is also very powerful. So yeah, that does it for this deck profile. Zombies, like I said, is probably one of the nicest, probably one of the things that I've always wanted the Theory Craft for GOAT format, but I've never really kind of had the inspiration because all the zombie decks that I had seen just seemed kind of plain and boring. But as the format progresses, this engine seems to be, more so call out to me the more and more that I've started to play this format again. I want to thank you all again for watching this video, and if you do want, you can like and subscribe. And also give my buddies Odd Toxin Gaming and Zaid Slater on YouTube a follow for more modern content and speed duel content from Odd Toxin. One more little channel update is fairly soon I will be starting speed duel content to run parallel with Odd Toxin, as the GX box is getting ready to come out, and I absolutely adore speed duels. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night.